That's the number. If you want to call and ask a question, make a comment, make a suggestion. It's computers, yes. Windows, Mac, and Linux. I'm not biased. We'll also talk about the internet, Web 2.0, Web 3.0, Web 1.0. I don't care. We could also talk about the most predominant form of technology these days, the cell phone. Camcorders, are they dead? Are they being replaced by digital still cameras? We'll talk about that. PDAs, they're dead, been replaced by smartphones. No question about that. Home theater, too. In fact, in just a little bit, we're going to talk about digital photography with our resident digital photo expert, Chris Marquardt. He's coming up in about half an hour. But meanwhile, back to the phones we go. Ken from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Hello, Ken. Leo Laporte. It's Cape Girardeau. I'm sorry. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Yeah, how you doing, Leo?
I'm great.
I got kind of a little bit of a dilemma here. I'm looking to buy a new computer, and I'm kind of wanting to, in a way, switch over to the Mac format. But I'm been doing video editing for about the last 6 or 7 years, and it looks like it's going to be too expensive maybe to go that route. I just wanted to see what your
it is pricey, right? Because it's like buying a BMW. You're buying a brand, but there are, I think, some good reasons why Macs are more expensive. And I tell you, for video editing, it's what everybody uses. It's what movies are made on. Every editor I work with uses Final Cut. Now, I think you can do it perfectly well on Windows. There are good choices on Windows. There's Avid, there's Premiere,
right.
But Mac is kind of where it's at. I'll be honest, if you get a machine that's good for editing on Windows, it's going to be an expensive machine too, because you're going to get an i7, you're going to get the Nehalem processor, you're going to get a lot of RAM, you're going to get very fast hard drives. You're not going to get a cheap Windows machine. You may end up spending almost the same as you would for a Mac Pro.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the iMac? I
think the iMac, especially the new iMacs, the 21 and the 27, are fantastic machines. We just bought a 27. I built a podcasting studio for our local high school, and we just bought a 27, and it's just gorgeous. It's a huge screen, really good for video editing. Editors like a lot of screen real estate because you've got your program, you've got bins, you've got controls, and 27 is nice. 27 is really nice. A lot of editors prefer maybe 124, 130, something like that, but I have to say the 27 is a very nice iMac and relatively affordable. We're talking for the 3 gigahertz 27, we're talking $16.99, $19.99 for the i5 based iMac. And that's quad core. We upgraded it to the i7. We kind of extremified it. But I think the 21.5 inch is also very good. And for Final Cut, it runs fine. What are you editing?
I do some weddings, and I do high school plays and things like that.
So is it long form? It's going to be a couple of hours? It's going to be long video?
A lot of times it is 2 hours.
Yeah. So that is demanding. I mean, you need a fast machine. You need a lot of storage and a lot of fast storage to make that work. So you are going to be spending money, but this is your profession.
Right.
So I think you can make a mistake by cheaping out on it. And I would say go with a Mac on this one.
I see. Okay. All right. That's kind of what I was wondering.
Yeah.
All right.
These things they use better components. They're more solidly built, and they have a huge advantage because only Apple makes them. So OS X can be tested with every configuration, right? And so it's just much more reliable, robust. I think half of the reason people use Macs for editing is not just because it's got Final Cut, but because they can rely on it. It's not going to crap out on them at the worst possible time.
I've been using Premiere for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's gotten a lot better, but there's nothing more disheartening that you get through a project there and you forget to save, and all of a sudden it just crashes down on you.
Isn't that awful?
Don't do that, yeah.
They don't. They are reliable. We upstairs, I have 2 editors working practically around the clock because I'm a taskmaster. They run 2 Mac Pros running Final Cut Pro. We run a big fast SanDisk. Right now, I record all the media that as we do it. I'm recording video from this show to that SanDisk. They're editing from the SanDisk, as we speak. And I don't think we've ever had a crash. Ever. It's just robust, and that's why people use them. That's why they pay more. It is more expensive,
right?
But I think it's worth it. This is your business. You do not, Ken, want to finish, that high school play and then have a crash. You do not want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's your time worth?
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken. What's the name of your business? We'll give it a plug.
It's kcvideopro.com, actually.
kcvideopro.com.
Yes,
If you've
sir.
got a wedding coming up, high school play, sporting event, you go to kcpro.com in Cape Girardeau. Hey, thanks. Good to talk to you.
You too. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.